Hello, hello.
Welcome back to another episode of Tabletop Punks. I'm JonJonTheWise.
I'm James Hutt.
That's right.
It's great to be back here. Tabletop Punks talk with you, John. We've got some serious generalized nerd stuff to talk about, but I think we'd be remiss not to mention that pre-orders for the Edge Runners box set I worked on went live. Please support.
I did my part, dude. I did my part.
Please
my
support
local
the things that I
FLGS.
do. You know.
Yeah, we're all excited about it.
Good. Get those orders in. It's going to be great. It's a box set. You get to, it's your first taste of the 2077-ish era. And I think if you've listened to this podcast for even a minute, it's probably a product for you.
Oh yeah, come on. You know you're gonna get it.
Yeah. I mean, come on, guys.
You gotta get it.
Come on, guys. I don't need to keep selling you this.
Everybody knows you're gonna get it.
Keep hearing me try. Let's help each other out.
This is the easiest sell. Like, hey man, you want some water?
Would you like some water? Yeah.
Would you like some water, dude?
Every once in a while.
The anime is just top notch, dude. I got the Monster Fight Club thing coming, and I got the Cyberpunk Edge Runner mission kit, and it's a kit, dude. It's a kit.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But I will say John is a little bit more privy to other stuff, and he is under a generalized gag order.
Yeah.
So he can't tell you.
I can't tell you anything. But
he wants to.
Very soon I will be able to. And stay tuned for that. But that's not what this show is about today, is it?
No, that's not what it's about today. I did have to get it out of the way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I figured we'd get comments about it if we didn't at least mention it.
Listen.
But this is just us hanging out and talking about tabletop role-playing games. So we're gonna get into that.
Yeah.
You've been playing any tabletop lately?
Yeah, dude, I have been. There's a local Warhammer 40K league at my shop. For those of you that don't know what a league is, it's the best way to just consistently play people, to meet the local community, and just be able to, get in with the local community for Warhammer. So nice. You go to your store, you say you guys have a league, they hopefully say yes, you sign up for it, and then every 10 days you play someone different. Well,
that's more gaming than I've been doing. I've just been writing.
Well, you'll be playing some games soon, right?
I hope so. And Gen Con is on the horizon, so I'll get to enjoy that when it comes.
Yeah.
I've been we're kicking up into high gear. The Gen Con preparations have already started, and so it's big writing time. Not only at RTAL, but also at James Hutt Games. So very exciting stuff going on there. Sugarworm is almost done.
Dude.
Almost done. Like I'm ordering prints just to make sure everything prints right.
I mean, the artwork is so cool, man. I love the style. Like, it's an experience just reading the book. You know what I mean? And I know that that's what you're trying to go for too. Yeah.
I want the I want the world to be really important, right? And certainly I want the characters and the relationships to be able to tell their own stories. And that's what that book is about. It's a horror storytelling tabletop role-playing game, kind of taking the what if this game was a play instead of a lot of storytelling games can feel like a story circle sometimes. It's less popcorn, hey, let's tell a story, okay, now you're talking, and more of like, these people are on stage, we interact with that stage, and then maybe next scene will be on stage, or maybe I don't want to be on stage, maybe I want to be causing chaos in the audience, which is entirely a part of this game. Anyway, we'll probably talk about that a lot more in the future, but it's on my mind, so I wanted to bring it up. I have been watching some great movies lately, though. John.
Do tell.
I watched Furiosa.
Oh, nice, man. Too bad it flopped terribly in the box office, but everybody says it's a good movie.
One.
No, well, I
I'm
mean, not people aren't saying that it's a bad movie. They're saying it's a good movie, but nobody wants to go to the movie theaters.
That's true. That's true. I will say I went to the movie theaters and they left the lights on during the previews. Then they turned it off right before the thing, and
Hmm.
people complained. And so when I left the movie theater, they just handed me a ticket to go to another movie for free. So
Oh,
I kind of feel like I got to see the movie for
for
free
free. Yeah,
a
yeah.
little bit. And also, maybe I feel a slight bit self-conscious about, all of the, candy I walked in my jacket. Uh,
You did one of
I
those
don't know.
moves?
Oh, I have a jacket that's like specifically for that.
Yeah.
It's got the pockets on the inside, and
It's a
it,
trench
it
coat.
was. It's not a trench coat because I'm trying not to be that guy at any time in my life, but it certainly it kind of ripped in the sleeve. So I
Yeah.
was like, all right, I could fix this, or I could selectively rip it in other sections and then fill those hollow sections. It's even worse, is what I'm saying. It's
That's
a
so much worse than
specifically
what I thought.
designed smuggling
Dude,
jacket for movie theater
you
candy.
literally can't take it
As
to the airport because they'll be like, why did you do
no,
this to your
no, it would be
jacket?
super, super suspect.
You're so sus. Oh, this is my movie
Um,
theater jacket. My bad.
well, when I go to a movie theater, I like to have the movie box candy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
But I'm not looking to eat like one pack of that. Okay. I'm looking to eat 6+ packages of movie theater candy because I don't go to the movies very often. So for me, it's fun.
Yeah, yeah. You do large popcorn, a drink, and some of those bunch of crunch. You're
Oh,
down
bunch
like
of fun.
$28, dude. Like I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
It's
that is
nuts.
weird.
So I get it. I mean, for me, the move was to have a girlfriend, not trying to knock on you,
Purse.
but the girlfriend
Yeah,
with the purse move,
that's the play.
that's the play, dude. That's the play. You move in with that.
Well, unfortunately, I like to go to action movies like by my damn self. If is that weird?
No, not at all, dude.
Is
I
that
wish I was
weird?
brave enough.
Sometimes.
I think I went to a movie by myself once. I think it was the second Lord of the Rings movie. I was like, I'll go by myself. I love this. I need to see this movie.
Fair enough. That was a good
Yeah,
choice.
yeah.
Good movie.
And I loved it. It's either that or
Uh,
Return of the King. One of two or three.
I made this. Like, the like sometimes you make a really bad decision related to Lord of the Rings.
Mm.
Every once in a while that occurs. I was invited to this party, and and they just do the trilogy. You watch the entire thing, movie.
Extended or theatrical?
They're all extended.
Oh, dude, that's 12 hours.
It was, and at a certain point, it's like no one actually finished it because 6+ hours in, everybody's like, I can't.
No,
do this.
yeah.
I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like
My wife and I were watching it as like a series, like an hour and a half every night. We'd pause it, go to sleep, come back. We did the whole trilogy like that, extended.
I feel like let's watch one tonight, let's watch one tomorrow, and then let's watch one the third day. That
That's a
might
solid
be the
one.
best way to do it
Yeah.
because all at once, now I don't know any actual streamers that have actually done the like streamathon things, but after 6 hours of Lord of the Rings, you start going, wow, this is unhealthy. I can't even imagine what it would be like to do one of those,
Dude,
let's sleep for 12 hours thing.
it's that too much of a good thing is a bad thing, you know what I mean? It's the same thing with Warhammer. Those Warhammer GT tournaments, it's 3 games, it's 12 plus 15 plus hours.
Yeah.
It's your whole day. It's the entire day.
No,
Breakfast
yeah.
to dinner, you know what I mean? It's
even like one game of Warhammer is like 2.5, right?
Yeah.
2.
It takes a big chunk of your day. 2.5, if both of you know exactly what you're doing and you've played like 100 games each, 2.5 you could do probably.
I can see why people like Blood Bowl because when people nearby me play Blood Bowl, I see them and I can tell they're having as much fun as the people at the Warhammer table, right? But they get more games in.
That's it. There's
I've never played, but my observation is that it produces the same kind of fun and shorter games.
You might have been seeing, because there's actually a shorter version of Blood Bowl called Blitz Bowl.
I may have been seeing Blitz Bowl.
And that
again, I have no idea.
Blood Bowl's like, I've heard, this is like, you know, from other people, from other nerds that play it. Blood Bowl is the complicated one. Blitz Bowl is the faster and easier, small one. And that's what people like the most because it's so quick and easy. You could get like 3 games in.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I will say we are sure qualified to talk about that. I've seen somebody playing it in the distance and you're like, dude, I think there's 2 things.
Bro, yeah, that's peak.
People really need to hear what we think about this.
That's peak nerdom, sure. Okay? That's what it is. You hear legends, you know, especially when you're playing at a shop, there's other people playing. You see them, they're playing bolt action and you're like, "Hey, what's that?" "Oh, we're the Russians versus the Germans." All right. And then that's how I learned about that game, you know what I mean?
We're being the unhelpful quest giver in the tavern. I don't know, but legend tells that in the mountains.
Dude, there needs to be more. By the way, tangent right here. I wanted to ask you, have you ever done the thing where the NPC gives the players information and it was just bunk information? Like, because that kind of stuff happens in real life, right? Somebody gives you information. It's in my mind, I'm like, am I breaking immersion where every NPC has an answer, or is that what we kind of have to like all agree to do just to get the game moving along? You know what I mean? What's your thing on that?
The problem with that is it can oh gosh, there's several. One, it's a dangerous thing to do, John, and you know it's a dangerous thing to do.
I live in danger, bro.
Are we talking about, are we in a 5e world when you're asking that question?
No, not necessarily. Actually, in Cyberpunk it happens a lot. You know, there's a lot of like
I think in Cyberpunk people are more okay with that. But I think in like if you're setting things up like don't do that in 5e. You know what I mean? Like I don't play 5e very much anymore, but sometimes my friends like, "Oh, we really want to play this." And I'm like, well, it's all right. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll run a one shot or whatever, but yeah, usually, you know, if there is a twist or whatever, I'm not going to have the twist come from someone not understanding something. I'm just going to go directly to the person lied to you or tried to lie to you, or I will do the thing where they say something and then I say, "Ooh, make an insight check."
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah. And that is code for this person either doesn't know what they're talking, and then no matter what they roll, I usually say, this person really doesn't know what they're talking about, or this person is trying to hide something from you. And then as a rule, whenever you say that, they immediately start torturing the man. In a D&D setting, and they go, "Oh no, I'm being the wizard. I'm really scared of the wizard. Won't somebody deal with this wizard?"
They're so quick to torture, dude. They're so quick.
Yeah. It's like, no wonder. No, I don't know. Acting like they're in the Goblin Slayer universe all the time.
Yeah,
is what most D&D players are like. It seems walking to the tavern, you know, it's a whole. I wonder if it would be any different if, like, I don't know, instead of everyone playing the characters that they brought, you're all going to play characters that are clerics or something. If we could have like a plot line that isn't like generalized adventure party, maybe that would breathe more life into the game.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that would be the best time to do it, is like conventions and stuff like that, is to take those risks, because people
I think I don't know, man. I've played too much D&D. I think I need to be taking the big risks on non-convention games.
Oh, well, hey, man.
Convention games devolve into convention-itis, man.
Yeah, I get it. So you don't want it to be a spectacle. You want it to be more of like, hey, let's actually be, 5 clerics.
Let's have an alternate idea to the norm of. It feels like, okay, have you ever played League of Legends?
Of course.
Okay, there used to be, or maybe there still is. I only played it for a little bit before I kind of got a little too toxic for me. But there was this thing called ARAM, random
All mid.
all middle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun the
Yes.
first couple of times you play, right? But then you go, like, this is really all random all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It almost feels like no matter what Dungeons and Dragons group I played with, they would always play an effectively random assortment of D&D characters, right?
Yeah, because everybody has their own little idea of like what kind of character they want to make, and it's just like so out there.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's like a gnome and a fish person and
Right.
a human, and one's a cleric, one's a ranger, one,
I need us to be pulled out of the simulation of talking about D&D on the internet very quickly. We need to talk about something else.
Let's
what are we
pivot,
talking
dude.
about now? To get anything else? Anything else, John?
Okay, I was gonna give you an example. I think we could keep it going without it out of D&D.
All right, you get one. Go.
Jesus Christ. So let's say oh shit, no, it is gonna stay in D&D. Hold on, just hear me out. So let's say the party's going after a witch, okay, and they hear a rumor, like the guy at the tavern's like, oh yeah, the witch, I heard silver bullets are her weakness, and you roll for it, you roll poorly, you don't know if he's telling the truth or not. You get there, the witch is actually empowered by silver bullets. You know what I mean? Some twists like that.
I wouldn't do that one.
Yeah, have you ever? I've never done it myself either, but I've wondered if I should attempt it.
I don't. It's hard enough to get players to stop holding 10-foot poles. You know what I mean?
What about minimizing the amount of security that a place has? You know what I mean? You're like, oh, it's just like a couple cameras you can put out and one security guard. You get there, there's like tanks and helicopters.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
I get what you mean, but I feel like you don't need to set those up. You know what I mean? I feel like you can have the characters tell the truth, the NPCs tell the truth, and then have the reality be different. And the reality can be different for no reason. It does not need to be because of someone gave bad information. Because I don't know, it leads to a social 10-foot polling of all NPCs. You know what I mean? Most people are just trying to help to the best of their ability.
Yeah,
right?
I'm basically conditioning the players never to trust an NPC.
Yes,
and we have to do this song and dance.
Bad conditioning. It's bad conditioning, and it ends with somebody in a zone of truth, or like, you know what I mean?
I've experienced that actually without having to. I never put my players like in that condition, but there was like paranoid players that are like, we're putting them in the zone of truth. We're putting them. I'm injecting them with this. I'm tying them up. It's like, dude, you're just asking directions. You know what I mean? What's going on?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I sometimes feel like player-driven stories are better than DM-driven stories, and so a lot of times I'd rather just hand them a map.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. If in my eyes,
and if you're an adventurer, what do you want to do?
Yeah,
Well,
I get what you're saying. In my eyes, I'm like, if the player takes the initiative to ask like a really cool question to investigate something, you know what I mean? Then I'm gonna give. I'm gonna yes and. You know what I mean?
I hear ya. That's good. I think it's a tool, and you have to use it sparingly, and you have to like. It's really hard to train that properly.
Yeah.
Because you also don't want the person being the term is asshole.
Asshole.
Thinking they can investigate literally everything and everyone for no reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you can't do that. I mean, you do that.
I know, but it's the trained. It worked last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
These are problems. These are problems that arise for DMs. I'm assuming all of the players listening are like, what? What do they mean?
Dude, I was watching Big City Greens. Have you ever seen that show? It's a kids show on Disney Plus. So it's like,
kid.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, it's one of those shows that I think adults kind of watch it too. Not like Adventure Time, but like maybe a little bit younger than Adventure Time as far as like demographic. But anyway, they had a D&D episode, Mazes and Monsters, or Wizards and Mazes, or something like that. And they did, whoever wrote the episode like plays D&D and understands like deep game master concepts, because the game master was like, we got to play everything rules as written, and the other kids were like, why can't we just like fudge the rules? Like, I was supposed to get a 15 and I rolled a 14, like, so what, let it pass, you know? And the game master's like, no, I can't do that, like, we got to play it by the rules or else we're not playing the game, you know? They had a big fight, game master leaves, and the kids are like, oh, let's play without a game master, this is awesome, yeah, we kill the dragon, we take all the loot. And then they're like, all right, so what do we do now? I don't know, let's go check his notes that he left over there. And they went and looked at the game master's notes, and it was like extensive backstories and character sheets, and they're like,
apologism. This is
I was like,
DM apologism.
And they were like, oh my god,
package for what, 10-year-olds?
For kids, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I was like telling my son, I was like, dude, this is it, dude, they get it in this show. And then they like went back to him and said like, we're sorry.
Someday you'll understand this episode, child.
I was like, this is a GM appreciation episode, dude. That's so cool.
God. That's,
so yeah,
it's very interesting.
We're indoctrinating the kids right away. You know what I mean?
I have to say, I really do like it when whenever in a cartoon they'll put in like a completely fictional, really cool card game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they're just like never go back to it.
Never. Wasn't there one for Parks and Rec? What was it?
You're talking about the Cones of Dunshire.
Cones of Dunshire. That's right. Is it a real? Is there a real like?
I think there was a release of some
like a meme release.
A meme release.
Yeah.
I think there was something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I love those. I love like a D&D episode in a show, because it feels like all my favorite shows have a good like D&D episode.
I can't remember which anime has an episode where they just play Monster Hunter.
Oh, no way. Like
the whole episode. legit the whole time.
That's cool.
But I remember that. I don't remember which show it is.
Yeah.
Help me in the comments.
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
Still listening, let me know in the comments.
The number one D&D episode of any show is the IT Crowd. I don't know if you ever seen it, the British show.
Have not seen it.
It's nuts. I won't do it justice, but that's my favorite. Some people are like in the comments furiously like, yes, dude.
Oh, maybe they are. Maybe they are. All right.
So
let's get away from this dungeons and these dragons. Let's get out of this dungeon and stop talking about these dragons.
Look, man, we're in dungeons. We're on skyscrapers. We're in space. It's all the same.
All the same.
It's all the same. Yeah. So the tangent was from Sugarworm Village being ready. Can I talk about my Warhammer League?
You talk about your Warhammer League.
No, I didn't know if you wanted if you had a
I don't remember
at the tip of your tongue or something, you know.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good,
all right. I'll do all the heavy lifting, don't worry.
Do some heavy lifting. Let's see it.
Let me lift it. So the Warhammer League that I joined, great time to like meet new people, play different armies, because I've been playing the same friend. I don't know if you've been through this, but it's like same friend, same armies, same games, and I'm like, I love you, bro, but I want some variety out here. I need to go say hi to some other people that are not you. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
He's like, I get it. He's the owner of the store too, so he's like, yeah, just come and be a patron at my store. So first guy I played, he brought Chaos Knights. You know what Chaos Knights are?
Nope.
They're the big giant mechs. They're supposed to be titans. They're like giant building sized or bigger war machines, you know?
Difficult to move around.
Difficult to move around, but they have their like rules, you know, they have like special rules. He had like 5 models total, and I had like a whole giant army, you know what I mean? So
That's great.
It's cool, yeah. He had a harpoon that does 12 damage, and just to give you like perspective, my basilisk that he one shot with it had 11, and it's like a self-propelled artillery tank. You know what I mean? Like on it, it's a tank with a big giant barrel on it. He just one shot it with his harpoon and killed it. But it was a really close game. We had like a lot of fun. I was playing Imperial Guard, Catachan. Like I was just like little dudes and tanks versus these big giant monsters. And I did kill his Rampager on the first turn, which was this big giant melee Titan. And it's nasty. It had like a big shield.
That's good. That lowers his build points immediately.
Yeah, dude, you killed two
Probably
things.
makes up
like
probably makes up for the one shot of of your other thing. How'd it turn out?
He won by, it was literally, it came down to like a dice roll. Like if I made the dice roll, I would have won. I didn't make it, he won. And we both agreed. We like looked at it, we were like, yeah, we both agreed on that's what have happened. But he was a great player. He's very experienced, so like he knew exactly how to like play around all the things I was doing. So that was a fun game. Great guy, huge dude, big unit. He was like 6'9", biggest dude I've ever seen.
You have to be to carry around all those things.
Dude, he was a unit.
Giant mech unit things.
He was a Titan himself. You know what I So, and then I played another guy who played Tau. Tau are the Japanese anime-inspired army, Gundam.
Yeah, I know the Tau.
So just in case the listeners, if they didn't know, there's a lot of controversy around the Tau. People are like, they don't belong in Warhammer. They're just fine. They're great. They belong just fine. Their lore is cool too. In my opinion, I don't know. You guys can all have your opinion. But anyway, I'd never played Tau before. All right, never played Tau, so I don't know what they have. This guy. All right, I'm gonna Cyclone missile, cannon over here. Cyclops flamethrower over there. All right, rolls the dice. Like my whole army's dead. Literally, like just shot me off the board every turn. Like to be fair, when it was my turn to shoot, I had a lot of tanks, so I was doing a lot of shooting. But when it was his time to shoot, dude, it was devastating, dude. Like I'm just picking up models, putting them away. Like I didn't even know where to put them. They were like dying so fast.
Ah, jeez.
So yeah, that one I lost. He almost maxed out his score. It's out of 100, and usually it's really tough to get 100. And he was like 93, 94, something like that. So yeah, good thing I don't play to win.
Good thing, yeah.
Yeah, or I do play to win, but if I don't win, whatever. It was fun. We had good times. So I have another game this Sunday playing Adeptus Custodes. I should be able to handle them. They're a elite army of like super soldiers.
Yeah. The Emperor's
bodyguards, basically.
Guards, right?
Yeah, like one guy is a one-man army, so there's like 5 guys in a squad, and
that's 5 armies.
1 billion points, you know what I mean?
5 armies right there.
Yeah, you just have 5 armies on armies, dude. But I got tanks.
I've been playing Flesh and Blood.
Oh yeah, dude, how's that going? You've been doing armories?
Yes, I've been doing the armories. The Pacific Northwest is a real good Flesh and Blood scene. It's been really fun.
Nice.
I went to a special sort of tournament one of the stores was putting on near the pre-release for Mistveil, where they had people playing a round robin thing, and then but before you had to sort of either join the faction for Heavy Hitters, the previous set, or the faction for Mistveil, the new set. And I had my hero from the previous set, so I joined that one. Okay. And after the round robin tournament, they handed out the prizes, and they said, okay, so the team that has the highest win percentage from the round robin who gets an extra pack. But apparently, the way the math worked, it was a dead heat. Both teams had an exactly 50%.
Oh wow, that's interesting. How did that happen?
And I don't know. Freak of the math.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I guess if everything lines up perfectly, you can get a 50-50.
So, sorry to go back. You were playing on a team?
Yeah. I just wrote, hey, I'm part of this faction.
Okay.
I'm not really part of a team.
Oh, got it.
More of a cute little thing they were doing, right? Yeah. I don't know if other stores do this. This was just, Zulu's trying it out.
Was it a narrative kind of team thing?
Yeah, it was. Okay. It was trying to have a narrative at the end. Oh, cool. And the final winner is this side at the end. But they accidentally got into this weird statistical anomaly. And the person running the event was having a great time. And they were like, all right, so we got to figure this out. So everybody should vote on which so y'all chose this side, y'all chose that side. Everybody vote on a champion and we'll have them fight.
Nice.
Right. So but I was like ready to go. Like this is I've been playing this game for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I did 3 rounds. Maybe I want to go home and eat food.
So you're ready to go home, not ready to
I was ready to go home, but they were like, oh, but he's our champion. They pointed at me. And they're like, okay, if you win, these 4 extra people get card packs and you get a card pack. I'm like, God damn.
Dude, they put it on your shoulders like that when you're trying to
I did win.
Sneak out?
I did win.
Nice, congrats. Hell
but
yeah.
It was kind of one of those unfortunate things where you get very lucky and then the other person on the side is like,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, hey,
in a 40 card
know.
format, I have 3 cards. I have 2 cards that make a very high powerful turn. It's playing Brute. They're called Blood Rush Bellows. That you draw 2 extra cards after you discard a card, and that discarded card has to be of a power of certain or higher.
Dude, all is fair in gaming, dude.
I hit a Blood Rush Bellow turn, then I hit another Blood Rush Bellow turn, and then I used a piece of equipment that effectively lets me have another Blood Rush Bellow turn. And the third one, they were like, okay, we're done. Please stop hitting me.
He's dead.
Because in that game, if you hit somebody really hard, they block with the cards in their hand. And then when it comes to their turn, they don't have any cards in their hand to fight back. So it feels very much like
yeah, it's a beatdown. It's a snowball.
It's a big snowball that doesn't because you make the decision to block or not. Most of the time, it feels a lot better than getting mana screwed. But I will say it makes the game feel very physical.
You
know, mana screwed in Magic, where you're I haven't drawn a land. I haven't drawn a land.
Yeah, I'm just
in this
not going to win.
At least every card can be used as a mana.
But your card is your cards are your resources too.
Or blocking or attacking. So you never draw a bad hand. You draw an inefficient hand, and then you get punched too hard, and then you get less cards next turn, and then you keep getting punched.
Yeah,
is how this keeps going.
Yeah, got it.
But it's really good, very fun. I recommend anyone that likes fighting games and likes card games to try it.
Is it a pre-made deck thing, or is it a draft?
You can play in draft. I don't typically play in draft. I typically play like you bring your own deck. Because you get really close to your own deck in this game, kind of like you get really close to like your own character in a fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just not know how another character worked.
Oh, gotcha. Well, can you just bring a character and then just draw cards, you know, like in draft style, and be like kind of random? Like I have to choose between, you know, some cards and stuff like that and build your deck? Or does it not work that way?
There is sealed where effectively that happens, where they give you packs and you're like, make a deck from the packs. But I typically just play in the ones where I can bring the deck that I like and then play with that deck. Because it's easier.
Got it. No, I mean, there's different formats, you know what I mean? Everybody plays differently. Is that the popular way to play, where you build your own deck? Is that how most people play it?
Yeah, there's like 2 formats. There's a 40 card format and there's a 60 card format. And the only difference really is different health totals, and you get to have 3 copies of a card in your deck instead of 2 copies of a card in your deck. So I like the 40 card format because the games are faster, and you know, like
easier to optimize too.
It's easier to optimize. It's easier to make the deck you want and see the cards you want to see, sort of, and it's more variable, which I like.
Yeah. Do you essentially do like 20 cards, just double everything, or do you have some singles in there?
I have 3 one-ofs.
One-ofs, gotcha.
Sort of.
3 of them, yeah.
Cool. But maybe 4 one-ofs, I think. But other than that, it's mostly like you want 2 of that. If it's part of if you wanted 1 in your deck, you probably want 2 in your deck. You know what I mean? It's good enough to be there. It's probably good enough to be there twice. Plus, you
Yeah,
want a certain amount of consistency because it makes the game easier to learn.
yeah. My problem with deck building is I've never been good at it because I don't have the mentality of like min maxing. I
Mm.
have the mentality of like, oh, these cards synergize. It would be cool to pull it off. You know what I mean? To pull
Yeah.
off like a cool, fun combo. Whether it like it doesn't even have to be a one turn kill, just like a cool thing to like summon a thing when you do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But it
I
doesn't
hear you.
always. It doesn't end up always being like a competitive thing, and that's why I'm like, I shouldn't have tried to do this dumb thing.
You know, that's sort of why I really like designing that stuff. But my problem is it takes the same sort of juice that I use to make like games.
Hmm.
Like it's still designing. So I find if I do that more, I get less indie work done, and
Mm,
I kind of don't like that.
gotcha.
Um, so I end up like, if I'm gonna play this game, okay, I'm gonna design one deck, and I'm gonna update that deck as needed, and I'm not gonna play anything else,
Hmm.
and that way I can focus my design resources on making games.
Yeah, I think how that's how a lot of people play. You know, even if they get into like Magic or even Warhammer or even League of Legends, you pick one thing, you focus
Mhm.
on that one thing, and you try to lock it down and try to be a master of it. And then as you go along, hopefully, if you play a league or play other people, you learn about other aspects of the game. You know what I mean?
I think there's a that's the like that's why you keep hearing in League and in Overwatch where they you can ban champions and whatnot before the game
Hmm.
starts.
Yep.
That's why that's like you hear about that more than it probably than you hear about the actual gameplay of the game,
Yeah.
because I think it might be like super crushing if you're, you've trained really hard, you're this one guy, and then that one guy becomes, I don't know,
Yeah. No, I get it.
oh,
I
can't
get
use him now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I guess if you want to play casually, then that restriction's not there. But yeah, if you want to play like ranked, you know what I mean? Anything worth a ranking, then they have like rules like that. And I remember why it was a good idea in games like League of Legends is because let's say your team is building this composition, you're all
Mhm.
strangers, you just like agree to make this composition of a team, and all five of you know there's that one character that if the opposing side picks that one character, you're going to have major problems. So you ban that
Right.
character and you're like, okay, so they have to figure it out a different way. They can't use that counter. You know what I mean? But I totally get where you're coming from. I get it.
I
If
mean,
that's your guy though, you know, and you're like, oh my god, this is my moment, and they take it
oh,
from you.
now I have to play my alternate or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess the argument could be made, well, then don't make the composition that you're making if that one guy can affect you so much, you know?
Similar arguments that either points to game balance or that points to that's a risk that you'll have to take.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you can adapt to my team, but not this way.
Yeah. There
It
is
kind of
also
like,
the balance part that you're talking about as well. Like everybody knows this character's broken. Even the creators of the game are like, yeah, we're going to update soon. And they admit that the character's broken too. So there's that too.
right. And that's the, you could have the system designed for like, oh, we're really good except against that guy. But also there's this character that's super broken. And if we don't ban him, he will, I don't know what League of Legends people, he will spawn kill us all. He will get a pentakill every single time.
He'll get
He will kill
juiced.
Baron at 3 minutes,
Yeah.
destroying our game plan forever.
Yeah.
I don't remember much League stuff.
Yeah. Quick tangent, kind of related. How do you feel about conceding? Not just
Um,
in video games. I'm talking about like, you know, one-on-one gaming.
I feel like, well, I feel like it needs to exist
Hmm.
because just general rules of the land. You can never force someone to get. what is that like? There is a line from a movie about cowboys playing poker,
Hmm.
and it's a silly 100 Ways to Die in the West, where a guy says, "Can't no man compel another man to engage in recreation."
Oh, dude, that's so wise.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you can't force someone to continue playing a game that they think you've won.
yeah.
The whole point of the game is to determine who wins the game. You know,
Well, but is it bad etiquette?
if one player is in that mindset, then that's how the game works.
Yeah.
But if both players are like, "No, we're just playing," then you're never gonna get into a session where somebody concedes for any other reason than, "I smell smoke in my kitchen. I gotta go, guys."
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's just, um, here's my point. It needs to exist. It's a cultural norm. Um, you know, shit, man, I gotta go to the bathroom. You got this one.
Yeah, yeah, no,
That's
I mean,
fine. I
yeah.
mean, it's not gameplay, so it's not fun, but there are parts of gaming that aren't supposed to be about fun.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be about, engagement rules and, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think being a bad sport and conceding are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If somebody wants to concede and they're a bad sport, they just conceded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're being a bad sport, you're a jerk.
Well, it would be argued that if you concede at an inappropriate time, like the game just started, and you just like, you have your biases, and you're like for example, the league game that I played against Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, a game like that, it doesn't go the way that our game went, where it's a close game. It's like it's either done really quickly on either side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's special and different. And one of those things that creates a toxic game environment. Uh, in online team games where one player wants to hop out because they feel like they're not going to get the win, so they don't want to waste their time and whatnot. The unfortunate part is that's something that arises when you just play with unmotivated people.
Yeah.
Or, you know, that's a thing that happens in those style of games, and that's sort of part of the cost of that style of game.
Yeah.
That potentiality could exist. People have tried to design that is now you're talking about a cursed design problem for video games.
Yeah, dude.
Like in a one-on-one game, that's easy, clean, you know what I mean? But in like a team game, that's weird. It
Yeah.
causes problems. But I think at the end of the day, I mean, if look, even if you didn't allow that player to concede, they might just close the client.
Yeah, no, I mean, like you said earlier, you can't force them. You can't force them to roll dice. You know what I mean? You're not going to make them play. All right.
Yeah.
They can alt F4 or just sit there and not play. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
yeah.
The,
of course.
the question is it like bad etiquette to concede early? What would be considered early? Even if you think you could argue like, hey, this game is probably not going to go my way anyway.
Look, I've made video games. So I'm gonna be on the like thinking it on the game design standpoint. I mean, good answers to this. I have thought replacing them with an AI to finish the match out is a great system if you can get it to work. It's hard as heck.
Very hard, yeah.
To work,
Yeah.
Certainly wouldn't work in League because, well, they do have a really, really powerful League AI that can beat humans.
In Heroes of the Storm, it was like a guaranteed loss if your player left and you got
100%.
It was
I played that game. It's 100% guaranteed loss.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's frankly 5 players on a team game like League. 5 is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
3 is probably the best number for that game design. And in a 3-player game, oh my God, only 3 players and one of them leaves. That's a 100% guaranteed loss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't remember if Heroes of the Storm was 4v4 or 5v5.
It was 5v5.
5v5.
Yeah,
Trying to be
5v5.
League fair.
Rest in peace, League Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, I did play it. I played it and I liked it more than League of Legends.
I was all in on that game, dude.
Dude, why? Why did that happen?
Yeah.
It's not like they don't have the money.
Yeah. No, I mean, what happened?
It takes a ton of design resources. I get that.
Yeah. No, what happened was they thought that they could generate an esport through sheer like monetary support.
I don't think League needs to be an esport in order to be successful.
They were like, we're gonna make a esport game. That's what Heroes of the Storm was. They're like, we're gonna make an esport game, and then we're gonna support it as an esport, and we're gonna make it like bigger than League, and it's gonna make billions and billions of dollars, and we're gonna go all over the world and fill up arenas. And that just didn't happen. Like people had to like enjoy the game, and then they had their own ideas and philosophies for design that didn't coincide with what the community wanted. The community who had played League was like, hey, League already fixed the like, you know, has answers to these questions already. Right. You know, I get like you don't want to copy League, but quality of life like is transferred from one game to another throughout time for generations, dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? Ignore that.
You know, I never got that deep. I never got that deep into it.
It's very deep. Yeah.
To me, I was just playing a game casually sometimes with bots, and eventually it went poof.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that was really weird.
Well, it was you know, it was during that esport craze, and then it didn't have loot boxes, and then all of a sudden it did have loot boxes, and then it had like a loot box like thing around it, and it had gems, and it was like a mobile game, and it's like, okay, dude, what are we doing here? You know what I mean?
Trying to save the ship, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, maybe they should. I mean, I think those types of games, they look cool.
It's a great game, and it's fun. And playing with 5 friends against 5 other people, like you're all on voice chat.
I'm sure
it's super fun.
I'm sure that's where the fun is.
It's still a fun game.
I wonder if 3 or 4 players is a more modern way you could build that style of game.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people just got fatigued because everyone tried to make a MOBA. You know what I mean? Of course. So it's like it's gone. Battle royales are gone. People are just trying to do. Now the new like thing is Helldivers. I'm not even kidding. Warhammer. Have you seen the new Space Marine 2 previews?
No.
Okay,
I haven't. I gotta be honest with you.
So there's a lot of hype for Space Marine 2. It's gonna have like newer Space Marines, the new Primaris, and it's like, hey, we're like up to date with what's going on in the lore and everything. So people were excited about that, just to have another cool single player game. And then they dropped this bomb on us that no, there's co-op. There's 3-person co-op and 6v6 3-person co-op Helldivers type missions. You know what I mean? Dude, that's all I've been asking for. And then 6v6 deathmatch, and you could play as like Chaos Space Marines and stuff like that. It's so
I don't know. I don't know about having a versus mode and a...
Yeah, you get to choose. You know what I mean? I don't know how. I'm not.
Scope really... scares me, dude. The scope scares me.
I'm not keen on the PvP, but I like the co-op. I'm down with the co-op. You know what I mean? They got me for that.
I think they got to focus, man.
We'll see.
You know what I mean? We'll see. And I hope, you know, I'm never gonna say I hope you fail.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No,
I hope it does great.
The good news is Relic has been making PvP games for a very long time. Like all their whole like category or discography, what do you call it? Catalog. Their whole catalog is basically all PvP, so they get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There was a PvP mode in Sea of Thieves for a while called Arena.
Mm-hmm.
And they closed it because they were like, this is an additional thing that we have to support in addition to this game. You know, like they were having like a fractured base type situation.
That's interesting.
I mean, if it ships with both, I mean, look, Overwatch 2, right? was supposed to have PvE ship with it, and it was like, we can't do both, you know?
You just made me remember, like, you know how you have like the random people that you played WoW with back in the day, that you just lost contact with, you know what I mean?
I don't have those people. That's the weirdest thing.
You never had like a group of people that you just lost to the ether of the internet. You have no idea what happened to them.
I have internet ether people, but
Okay.
I was so I joined a raiding guild.
Oh, okay.
Wow. And I pretended to be older than I was to join that raiding guild. And I accidentally like joined a raiding guild when I was like 14, 13, right? That's full of like 26-year-olds and whatnot with like young families and stuff.
Oh my god.
Wanted to raid Karazhan. And I wanted to raid Karazhan too, but still.
Did you have to deepen your voice? Hey, what's up?
No. But my voice had changed at that point.
So yeah, you're already in.
So I'm already in, just as long as I don't talk about, going to high school or something.
Yeah. Third period sucked.
Which was still Ventrilo at the time.
Oh, dude.
That's the era we're talking about.
Wow.
So like, here's the thing, I didn't have anything in common with these people.
Yeah.
So I never kept in touch.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, my story is with some guy that we were all friends with. We would be gaming all the time. And when you're on voice chat, you just have random conversations. And we started talking about Mass Effect. And he's like, oh, yeah, I used to play that PvP mode so much. In Mass Effect 3, they suddenly had like a PvP mode. You know what I mean? And it wasn't, touted as being one of the best. I think some people played it, but everyone's like, what are you doing, guys? This is a RPG game, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh yeah, dude, Mass Effect, love that game, dude. That single player campaign it sits with me. And he's like, oh yeah, I never played it. I'm like, bro, hold on, time out, stop what you're doing right now. I like paused there, like, are you telling me you've only been exposed to the PvP mode from Mass Effect 3? And he goes, yeah, that's it, that's all. I've never played like 1 or 2 or the single player, nothing.
That's super weird, man.
It's so weird, dude. It has to be the craziest outlier thing I've ever seen in my life, dude. It's like the people that like, I don't know. I think there's more people that buy Cyberpunk books and don't play the game. Way more.
Tons.
Yeah, way more. Never mind. That's not a good one. I can't even think of another example.
And it's okay if you do that.
It is, and it's okay that he only played the PvP mode. It just like blows my mind, you know what I mean? Because it's one of those like masterpiece games, the series, you know what I mean?
There are people that really, really like that game.
Yeah.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
Why would you? I do not like shoehorned in multiplayer modes.
Yeah.
I don't like them, and to tell you what, this is 100% preaching choir. I feel like this is a common opinion that you should not shoehorn a multiplayer thing into a single player game, and I don't know. I kind of feel the opposite too. Sometimes you should just make a multiplayer game.
Yeah. I hope Space Marine 2 is the exception, you know what I mean? Because I totally agree with what you're saying. I haven't seen it where it worked.
I hope it has like offline multiplayer, if that makes sense.
Oh, like couch co-op?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I hope that is because eventually the game will be unplayable on servers, and I would very much, but Warhammer is this thing that just keeps going, right? Yeah. And in 20 years, it'd be nice if that game was playable.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's so far and few between, in between. It's usually indie games that do that, but like AAA games, it's like always online, has to be supported that way, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah. But games like Helldivers, like they're like, we're not gonna have a PvP mode. They just straight up said, stop asking.
They don't have the. It's not in the plan, and they don't have the manpower for it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like trying to control the sandworm. They don't know how to control the sand. They thought it was gonna be a much smaller
It takes. I think it would take away from what's actually fun in the game. That I don't think that would be a fun mode, the PvP mode. It would just imagine how many cheesy guns there would be that you weren't cheesy in PvE, but in PvP they're like,
oh yeah, and they no.
Yeah, this sucks, dude. This is the worst experience.
Have you played Helldivers lately?
No, man. I need to get back because I started playing Diablo.
I have not seen you on. I
haven't. My son's barber is like, dude, we were supposed to play. I'm like, I know, man. We're supposed to play. I know.
What are you doing, man?
I'm playing Diablo.
No, what are you doing right now? What are you doing after the show?
After this, I have to
play
do
some damn Helldivers.
I wish, dude. I have to do work stuff. I know. Maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow we can try to work something out.
Busy, unfortunately. But
you and you're busy.
Sorry.
I thought you loved me.
I do.
Oh, we didn't even talk about France, dude. Give us
that was like
TLDR.
months ago.
Did we talk about it?
I don't know if we talked about it. I went to Toussaint. It was great.
Didn't you go to Carcassonne? I saw you you had the board game in your hand with your bro.
Yes, yeah. I went to Carcassonne. I got to play Carcassonne.
Nice.
In southern France. It was great. Very pretty.
That's cool.
Good time of year for it. It's probably way too hot right now, but I got just it's not hot and there's a nice breeze. I got that nice window there. We spent most of the time there, like on trains, going in between different spots in Paris, in France, between Paris and then Carcassonne's all the way at the south of France, and then I went to Versailles with my brother as well.
Hell yeah!
See the Palace Gardens. That was awesome.
Nice.
They have this crazy thing in the gardens at Versailles where they have this like big rock like waterfall cove that you see at a great distance.
Whoa.
And inside the rock cove, they have statuary that they've carved and left there. So it looks like there's an entire like stone scene.
Whoa. And you can see from far away.
Yeah. It's
That's sick.
Like a guy on a horse and stuff.
That's sick.
It looks like other people who are made of rock are having a dinner party in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I heard like the French countryside beautiful, Paris absolute dump. That's what I heard.
Paris is pretty cool.
Okay.
Well, man, I'll go.
It's a bad rap.
I'll give a really, really controversial opinion that Paris is actually a pretty cool city.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's my opinion.
There you go. All right.
Dig into it.
Sorry
if it angers you. Tell me how angry you are in the comments.
Our French viewers will appreciate it. Yeah.
I tried to find tabletop role-playing games for sale though, and I just couldn't find it. I guess people there just buy them online.
Yeah, probably.
Found a lot of very specifically card shops and then board game cafes.
Interesting. But
card shops, board game cafes,
but no FLGS.
Neither of which they are friendly local game stores. They're friendly, plenty friendly.
Yeah.
They just didn't have TRPGs for sale. I saw like one, even D&D. I saw only one store that really carried D&D.
It's so crazy. I never thought of it. Really. Even my Warhammer store that's like focused on Warhammer, they have like a D&D rack.
I think that they just buy them at bookstores. I think that's how the sales channels work there.
It's a book. Yeah, I guess they're like books go to bookstores.
Buy it in a bookstore.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I mean, hey, if you guys live in France, sound off in the comments. Let us know.
Yeah, let me know, where actually do you buy tabletop role-playing games in a store?
Yeah.
I have tried at this point twice.
Yeah.
And I'm near a bunch of like universities full of students that would love to do this. They must buy their stuff somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the next time me and you talk, I'll have run a very special one-shot campaign or some whatever, two-shot, three-shot campaign, however long it takes. And we can actually talk about it because we'll be able to talk about it. So next time, hopefully, if all things are correct and all things go well, I'll read the things I'm supposed to read. And then I can actually put all these minis to the test,
Well, good luck. Have fun, and we'll talk then.
Okay. Well, that's it for us on Tabletop Punks. Make sure you guys go to jameshutgames.com
Yep.
and you sign up for the newsletter, get in on that Discord,
newsletter.
and you support our Talsorian. Sorry,
Yes,
go ahead.
Sorry, I have not put out a newsletter in a while. It's because I'm working. It's not because I don't love you.
Yeah, but you've posted on the Discord, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I'm posting on the Discord.
Yeah, the Discord is like, if you really, really want to know about these cool games, the Discord is a really good spot.
Thank you.
So yeah. Yeah, sign up to that. Email us at tabletoppunks@gmail.com. Let us know about your horror stories, any advice you need for your gaming, any questions you have for tabletop gaming. We're happy to answer them any way that we can, and we appreciate all the support that we get from the community. Thank you guys for watching.
Hey, since it's been a while, John,
talk to me.
Let me send you a link to that Discord just so you can put it in your in the description.
There you go. The link will be in the description below, and you guys can join James' Discord right there, straight from the link. All right. Anything else you want to tell the fine folks at home, James?
No, I just hope they have a great day.
Have great days, great games, and we'll see you guys on the next one. All right. Bye.
Bye.